Oh, hello, and welcome to the BGKH show with Dominion. This is me vamping. Hey, Lonzy. Hey, Spesh. We shockingly, Epic is running late. This time it's work related, so we'll let it slide. But he should be here in a moment. So it's just us kids right now. So how's everyone doing? Ooh, I just heard the thud of big boots. So that must be him trudging up the stairs now. Hold on. Can we hear it? Yeah, can you hear those boots trudging up the stairs? Mm-hmm. Sturdy, the sturdy ample hips of my partner in crime.
Hey y'all.
Hi. I was just saying, you were late because of work, girl. What did they do? What did they do this time?
Today is the second session
Of
the one I did last week.
and y'all can't finish. Y'all can't wrap. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm fine, but y'all can't wrap that. You can't be like, okay, girls, we got to be done by 5.
You have 16 to 19-year-olds that have questions along with their parents. And we're going to go ahead and talk about Baltimore City.
Oh well, this
Just
this the
as
ones where
a-
the valedictorian got a 1.9.
I was
So-
reviewing transcripts today that were for 1.6, 1.4, and I was like,
Are they even being considered?
you have to understand that the institution has an open admissions policy. So basically, if you have a pulse, you're going to get in. Where they put you at is something completely different. So whether they put you in all the remedial courses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, I guess God bless the ministry that they're trying to continue their education, but what do they really expect to happen if they do they even, so here's my question, right? And this is a legitimate question. This is not being shady.
No. And I was going to say this. A lot of it has to do with Baltimore City having one of the worst public school systems.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
And so that's literally what our main population that we're recruiting from.
Right.
So, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So my question is, do they understand where they rank? Like, do they understand that a 1.7 GPA is not good?
The participants or the administrators at the school? That's what I'm asking.
I'm talking about the participants.
The participant. Do they recognize that it's not good? No, but see, here's the thing.
So no one has told them that they're compared to their.
But listen,
anywhere else in Maryland, they are at the bottom.
This is how they frame it. They frame it as, we want to make sure that you can go to school. That's how they frame it. So they're it's the positive spin on it. Like, listen, Mary Alice, she went 1 point. What she's one who? What? Like,
we barely accepted B's in my house.
That's not even a conversation. It's not a conversation only because I had a sister who did exactly that. You are the most gifted athletically, but you didn't want to take gym, which caused you to fail high school because you didn't want to swim and get your hair wet. Okay, girl. Well, all right.
But my problem
but I'm
is
sorry.
that no.
But do they know to answer your question, do they know that they are at the bottom? We're technically not necessarily at the bottom. I believe it or not, we are not. Because just like we will accept that, you have other schools that will accept that because
I'm not talking about policy. I'm not talking about y'all admission policy. I'm talking about these kids applying to school with a 1.7 GPA. Do they understand that is not a good GPA? That most schools, this school has an open admissions policy, yes, but do they understand that in order to go anywhere beyond this, they're going to have to do significantly better. Because is this a 4-year college?
This is a community college.
A community college. So if they want to go anywhere beyond that, they're going to need a minimum of a 2.0, and most places will require significantly more. And if they want a scholarship, there's going to be a minimum of a 3.0.
So to answer your question, do they know that they are?
I mean, do you know where you're going to?
That's one of the reasons why they're coming to where they are coming, because they feel as though, and first of all, it's a community college, so they're not graduating with a 4-year degree.
Right.
It's an associate's degree at most, maybe with a couple of certificates.
Right.
If you depend on how
I'm not trying to shade them. I'm just like, at some point, who's having like a legit conversation, like, girl,
well, but
you're
again,
going to need to do better than this in life.
But again, the conversation is you're talking to a 17 or 18-year-old that's about to graduate that feels like their only thing to do is, well, I'm going to go ahead out here and I'm going to do what I need to do and make some money however I can make some money, and that's about it. As opposed to trying to do better and go to an educational institution that will give them at least the basics of things that they will need in life. And the plus is to go on to do something else at a 4-year institution. Yes, they understand that. That's why they're coming to.
This doesn't fill me with warm fuzzies.
Let me be clear.
Is there a Debbie Allen who is, when you want fame, well, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying. In sweat.
No, there is no Debbie Allen for the kids. However,
are you Mr. Clark?
No. No.
We love you, Mr. Clark. Thank you for being so hard on us. Get those chains out the door.
But I am that person, which is, I told you I had the argument with the president about changing the perception of doing our program there. I was like, you have to, and literally to get it to a 2.5, I was like, this is not difficult. This is I need you to understand that within 3 cycles of this, if you do it.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, best friend.
Hey.
Anyway, so you were saying, sir?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody going there.
I don't know. You don't know her?
I don't know her. Some lion babe or something. Black clown or whatever. But anyway, having the conversation about within 3 cycles getting this GPA up so people will stop looking at it as just go into that program, go take classes here. As I'm looking at the transcripts of the people that have come in, I was like, can you write your name? Like, you have a 1.4. You didn't even finish some of these classes. I don't even know how you even got, and you want to come in and take a college level class?
Who's sending these kids to you?
The administrators from the Baltimore City Public Schools, the guidance counselors, the college bound.
Do the guidance counselors,
are
they like, we failed?
The guidance counselors are trying to put that positive spin on it as, we want you to go to school. We want you to go to college. We want you to do well.
But they clearly have done nothing to prepare these kids if they've got a 1.4 GPA. There's a world of difference between someone who busted their ass and graduated high school with a 2.5, and 1.4 feels like all you got to do is barely ass show up and fuck around.
Which is what a lot of those students
like the guidance counselor. I would be like, I don't even know how a guidance counselor could, with a straight face, be like, hey, I'm sending you these students. And I mean, it's not really the guidance counselor fault because they're not the teachers. And I mean, it's a fucked up system. So let me just stop, because it feels like I'm blaming the teachers. And I mean, it's a whole society. It's the teachers, it's the parents, it's the administration.
The community at times.
It's how much money is being invested
economic, in the whole structure. Like, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so
this is just sad to me.
It is. And the sad part is you can see how people get easily wrapped up into and become a part of this system and any other system.
Right. And what's stressful, what's troubling to me is that what it feels, not you personally, what it feels like is happening here is because they've never had they clearly don't have any discipline to go to class regularly, to get the lesson, to do the work. And Really B is a teacher. So I saw that. I was like, I don't want to blame the teachers, because I follow Really B on TikTok.
Listen.
And some of the stuff he talks about, listen, there's only so much you can do when the parents ain't shit and the parents ain't helping. I mean, if the parents ain't shit, how you expect the kids to be something?
And listen, you have a lot. And listen, PG is not.
Yeah, it ain't
excluded from that.
Right. It ain't
DC,
platinum
just
plated.
like Philadelphia, just like but now on the flip side, when you go to other schools within Baltimore City Public Schools, like the Magnets, the Blue Ribbon schools, whatever, you see the 3.8s, the 3.9s, the the Magnets. Those students are amazing. So when I see those transcripts, I'm like,
but are those people coming to your
They
school?
are, but many of them are coming only to take the dual enrollment class, which is why this program is so important to them. Because if the institution accepting the 1.4s, the 1.4 to 2.5s, and we can get the 3.7, the 3.8s to come in for dual enrollment, and while they're there, starting in their 10th grade year, take enough classes they actually graduate, that helps our attrition rate.
Yes.
So that's the whole point. So this is why dual enrollment, like I'm trying to get to these schools that traditionally haven't come to us, because they're like, oh, everybody gets into that program. I'm like, well, but see, here's what you need to have as a minimum.
Right.
So trying to put the extra spin on it.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's very disheartening because this city, just like many other cities, and in Philadelphia included, like I see it very easily how people got caught up.
Yeah.
And got lost.
And it doesn't feel... If you and I both have a 1.4, and yet somehow the school has decided that we have graduated, which I wasn't even aware that you could do that. I literally, that's an F. I mean, that is an F grade point average. I wasn't aware that you could graduate from high school with an F.
Now,
with anything less than a C. I honestly didn't think that you could graduate from high school with anything less than a 2.0.
But the problem is, or not the problem, for me, I don't see the graduates. I see the ones that are in high school right now.
So these aren't high school graduates.
They're not
sorry.
As
so let me
yet, because of the program that I'm working
the transcripts that you're seeing are from 10th graders.
9th, 10th, 11th graders. Some of them.
But still, if you
exactly, are you
if you got a 1.9 in the 9th grade, you did not have a 3.0 in the 8th
exactly.
grade.
But if they do come and take classes, let's say they take 4 classes, 2 each semester, and they do extremely well, that's going to do wonders for their
at least halfway decent.
That's going to do wonders for their CUNE. And so, will it bring them up to a 3.0? Absolutely not.
Right.
But it will still give them more credit. And at the end, they probably still, some of them will need to do a GED.
Yeah, I would really hope that there is not educational, but career counseling, life
There is
skills.
A workforce development piece of the institution that is separate from what I do.
Of course. I'm not suggesting that this is what you do.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, but it's there.
This is a whole system is just what making me want to cry almost, because it's like we've got a whole generation of people that aren't prepared to do it. Because if you've got a 1.4, if you are literally asking people, it's horrible if they're in the 12th grade, but even if they're in the 9th grade, if you are saying to a 9th grader, can you write your name? So that is troubling to me on levels, because if you can't even write your name, bitch, how can you get any job? I mean, how can you get any job where the expectation is that you need to read if you can't sign your name?
So it showed me my own snootiness, or how I was looking down, or condescending on people.
I recognize that I have my own elitism about this issue.
because at graduation, I was like, why are y'all so hyped about this? Like,
That,
it's just
bitch,
like
when the kids
like
be
literally-
graduating from
like, I was like, why are you so hyped? Yeah,
not from elementary school, when they be graduating from kindergarten in the first grade, I was like, bitch, that's just a promotion.
This is like, why are you so hyped?
Like,
about
we
this?
never made any big deal over.
We did. I did not either.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you attended the little ceremony, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, okay,
but
great.
it was in class.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like getting dressed up, bringing the family. We ain't go to Sizzler afterwards.
It's like, I mean, you know. But then in my family, yes, that was because it was like, okay, well, this is the graduation. So, all right, well, so you graduated, great. So we're gonna get something to eat, and your grandmom came, or your aunt and uncle came, or whatever, and that's it. But it wasn't like, oh my God, you were the ace of the. No, it was like, okay, he graduated. Can he get an extra soda with his meal? Like that. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also made me think. Like I said again, y'all are getting so excited about this, and it's just. But I also have to remember that many of these students that are in this crowd that have graduated have had issues beyond the classroom, which is why it's so important to some of them. And I kept forgetting about that.
It's the first time.
Yeah.
It's probably the first time. If they're like 17, 18, 19 years old, this is the first time that anyone has made. I know, right? Has made them work.
Right.
Or made them work is the wrong thing. But they have seen the value of their work.
Exactly.
Instead of going out and hanging out, you were at home doing the work. And did you get a 4.0? No. But you did well enough to pass. And it's troubling to me that they're just now seeing this for the first time at 17, 18 years old. And what are they going to do with that? And then what happens when it's the dumbing down of America, and fuck America. Almost everybody who watched this is Black.
Almost.
We're all human.
Right.
But everybody on this screen, I think, except for Josh and Justin, are Black. So now we've got a bunch of Black young men and women who are now going, because one thing they all know how to do is fuck. And I know how to fuck too. So I'm not saying that, poor people fuck. But I'm saying they're definitely fucking. And so now, if for them, the measure of success was barely cobbling through on this class and getting a 1.7 GPA, what are they teaching their own children about the value of reading, studying, the value of hard work for anything? Mm-hmm. Not just, because school ain't for everybody,
it's not.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you want something in life, if you want the life that you see the rappers living, or the basketball players living, or the football players, every profession, everything that you want to do in life requires some level of buckling down and sticking to it. Michael Jordan didn't just throw the first, hippity loop sports ball. I don't know much about sports ball. He didn't throw, do his first 3 free throw and make it, and then all of a sudden get into the NBA.
Right.
He played basketball as a science every day. LeBron plays basketball every day as a science. Rappers, good rappers, spend all of their time writing lyrics, thinking about lyrics. It's a job, it's work. Right. And if they're not doing that, and no one has ever taught them the value of any kind of hard work, but they still expect to have this lifestyle where they're going to floss, then
it's a cycle that is absolutely horrible.
Yes.
But I see how people who sometimes are born into this cycle or a part of this cycle, how they absolutely do not see the outside of it.
Yes.
Or any way to get outside of it, I should say.
Right.
And they fall right into line or right into place with what it is they're supposed to do cyclically.
Dylan brings up a good point too. And then we'll actually start the show, because we didn't actually start the show. It doesn't. Dylan says it doesn't help that they separate between Magnet and everybody else, which reinforces people's perception that they aren't worth it.
Well,
I can. Well, maybe not for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but for me,
there's
at Oxon Hill High School, there was Oxon Hill High School, the science and technology school. Then it was everybody else,
right?
At Oxon Hill High School, I remember one time I skipped school so I could write a fucking term paper. That's how much of a nerd I was. And so, but the class had moved on or whatever. So I had to go sit in somebody else's classroom to do something, to take a test or something. And this particular teacher had a sub. So here we are. We're both in the 12th grade. This is like April or something. So we're all about to graduate. Mm-hmm. You know, I am working on the theory of relativity or whatever the fuck I'm working on. These people, 12th graders, my peers, the assignment that the teacher had left for them was to copy and trace letters of the alphabet. These are 17 and 18-year-old. I know, bitch. I was like, I was so mad about it. I was so mad about it that I actually went to the principal and I was like, why are and you know, the principal, the assistant principal, her name was Miss Humane. She was like, Brian, just let it go.
That is awful.
It was awful, but I was like, because when we have a substitute, the expectation is for you to sit there quietly, shut the fuck up. You could usually when it's a sub, usually I was in advanced classes, so usually the sub wasn't even qualified to teach whatever the fuck it was we were studying. So at the best, you just had to sit there and stay quiet. And so it was just a shock to me that in this classroom, the assignment was not at a minimum just to sort of be quiet and sort of hang out while this sub was out for the day or whatever, but that they were tracing letters of the alphabet.
So, so this brings up, and we can stay on this a long time, but
we could.
This also brings up the whole idea.
We'll wrap it up. We have very special guests, so we're going to get started in a minute.
But it brings up this whole thing of, like, in Philadelphia, and I think there's the same thing here as well. Mm-hmm. You have trade schools, and so you have those high schools that have a trade section and they have the academic section,
right?
So very early on in high school, like somewhere in that 9th grade year, even before you come in, people have selected a trade to go into, and they may excel in that. But the academic stuff, they don't do nothing. But they can rebuild a house,
right?
They can rebuild a car,
bitch.
They can take apart air conditioning
apart and put it back together.
Meanwhile, me and a couple other people, because I know Spectre was in there as well, we went to these other high schools that were deemed as like magnet schools, and you know, and while we may have had one class or one shop class or one throughout our whole high school career, everything else was AP honors or whatever, and I'm like, I don't understand how I know how this is supposed to work, but I can't physically put my hands on it.
Bristol wrong, bitch. I know how. If I had to,
you want my hands to get dirty, and I got to. I don't understand.
If I had to, I could take apart and put together a lawnmower right now. I could build a wall section. I could redo the plumbing in my bathroom. These are things that I've learned as an adult. My washer. And no, I learned this in high school. I could take apart my washer and dryer and put it back together.
But what I'm saying, these are things that I learned as an adult, as you start, as it happens.
Right.
But you know, but that's a whole other conversation. We can have a whole other show.
We could. All right. So let's actually get the show started, and then we'll bring in our guests, because I see one of them chewing like, girl, y'all got me on here all early and shit. And I could have been sitting around doing nothing. All right. So just to be clear, best friend, that while I may technically know how to take apart a washing machine and put it back together, I would not advise hiring me to do so. So at this time, before we get started, I want to add a couple of friends to the chat.
Yay!
We are friends with them both in the leather community and outside, and they were both participants at IML this weekend, International Mr. Leather. You know, normally I would have had a 12-point list of all of the things that I did. And since I wasn't there, I wanted to get a firsthand perspective from two participants. So without further ado, I'd like to say welcome to Blade Onyx, Mr. Ramrod 2019, and Justin, Mr. DC Eagle 2020. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening.
Excellent. Justin, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Very good. So again, thank you. You know, for people who I am close with in the leather community, whenever they compete at IML, I have this tradition of messaging them or otherwise letting them know the importance that they have, not just to me per se, but to the community. Because we all know it's a competition, right? It's 60 some. The most I've ever seen is like 75 or 80 participants at IML. So your chances of winning or becoming IML is, in that case, is one in
out
80.
of
But you are standing on the shoulders of an entire community.
Yes, indeed.
And that community is more important than this title. You'll still be Mr. Ramrod. You'll still be Mr. DC Eagle when you get home. And I don't want any of our friends or our brothers to think that they let us down.
Oh.
Well, and you know, some of the girls, listen, I have been witness to dramatic cunt breakdowns.
Well, yes.
Because when they announced the top 20,
well, yes.
Have you ever been?
I have not been, but I've heard about a couple
so
of them.
So they announced the top 20
the last 5,
and then I don't know how they did it this year, but in the past, when they announced it, everyone's out there, right? All 65 or whatever. They announced the top 20. Those 20 people step forward, and then the curtain falls. And I have heard stories and seen examples of the girls going off, because when they let you go, then you can go and sit in the audience,
right?
And people have been in the back, like the year James won. There were some girls from a state who I will not name, but that starts with no, I will not. I won't say it.
Well, I mean,
but
it's just,
I'm not.
We're amongst girlfriends.
No, because I'm not trying to fight everybody from that state. I'm not trying to fight.
But here's the question: is it a lie?
What they said was a lie.
But what they did, was it a lie that they did?
No.
Okay, so that's the part. It's reporting truth and reporting facts.
Reporting truth, but I'm not going to go there. But I'm saying, an example, they basically said that it was a conspiracy. And this was before James actually won. But when that year that he was in the top 20 and eventually won, they said that the fact that their person didn't win was a conspiracy, that it was this thing and that Patrick was biased and, you know, all of this other stuff. And it's like, no, it's not like that. You're still Mr. Whatever from that state. The fact that the only important thing to you was going to the gym and flossing and looking cute. You know, now I will say that Blade and Justin did their work at the gym. You know, they got the work in. But what they did was much more important, was represent their community.
And that's the part for me that is important. And that's with any of the title holders. Like, yes, they are the majority of the ones I've seen, because I don't think there's any title holder I've ever seen that was unattractive, to me, at least to me. But attractive as far as their physical, but it's the inside and what they do within the community.
Yes.
That's the amazing part. Like, even seeing Justin out and about and doing some of the things that he did, him and his Sash wife, like, it's just amazing.
Blade, for a bar that doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
I mean, because listen, you know, a lot of girls would just be like, oh, the bar doesn't exist anymore. So
right. And then there's
he's raised as much money since the DC Eagle has closed since he did before the Eagle closed. And that deserves a round of applause right there, because that's a level of work that you absolutely did not have to put in. I don't think there was any expectation for you to continue to rep for a bar that literally does not exist anymore.
And listen, we're not gonna. I'm gonna single these people out because they are single worthy.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't forget about all the stuff that Blade has done, whether it's been with Onyx or without.
We just
like
had...
we just can't. Like
Blade, you have a fan. Linda Bradley says, I had a chance to hang with Blade at MAL. So laid back and cute. Yes, I said it.
She said it.
She ain't wrong.
Well, I mean, right. So let's get into it. So we'll start with you, Justin. So tell us about your experience. What were some of the highs for you?
I would say for me it was the high parts were really the idea that I went into this thinking, okay, it's just I'll get yelled at. It's just a bigger pageant than the last one I went through. So, I just have to stand longer with more people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I was prepared really more for the emotional side of it,
Mm-hmm.
both getting to know the men more,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the traditions and stuff that come as part of becoming a contestant of IML and a brother of
Mm-hmm.
IML. So to me, that was kind of the highlight, because I was like, oh, I do have a heart. It does work. Oh, okay. um, you know, um, so I had a great time with that. Some of us especially have been holding these titles now for 3 years.
Yes.
And so I was just kind of ready for it to be fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
like, because now I'm like, yeah, my bar's closed, and I'm trying to keep it relevant, and keep, my name out there, because I didn't want to go to this competition and then be like, what'd you do for 2 years? And I said, I sat on my ass.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I enjoyed the work anyway. So, that's what I was going to be doing if the bar was open or not, regardless.
Right.
So yeah, hanging out. Y'all know me. I'm sweet and innocent. So
Yes.
there were a lot of adventures that were had, and I'm sure you've seen the photos by now. So
Yeah. So, what exactly was that you were drinking on stage?
I mean, did you? I mean, but I mean, you could have eased into it just a little bit. I mean, it was just I don't ease into it. I mean, I don't ease. Listen, let's just
into it.
rephrase the question.
Mm-hmm.
Was it sweetened or unsweetened lemonade that you had in that container?
It was a little bit of both, because there was 3 people that contributed to it, and they all had a different makeup.
Got it.
So it was a mixed cocktail of sorts.
Okay. All right.
But it was actual real piss. So I even offered some to Jack as I walked by the judges table, and since he knows me, he started laughing his ass off. But he still had to ask me afterwards if it was apple juice. I said no, it was not apple juice, and it didn't taste like pineapple either. So
Okay, all right,
excellent.
So, Blade, one of the things that I saw, because I actually wasn't there, but I saw a video of your speech. Tell us about your answer to the question, which I thought was really cute.
Oh, about the Disney princesses?
Yeah, about the Disney princesses.
Yes.
Because I believe the question was if you were coming as a Disney princess, or no, if you were.
It was like a Disney theme party or something?
Yes, let me tell you. Okay. In part of my application, part of what I had listed was that I coordinate EDC, enforced dress code, every month at Ramrod. So from that portion of my application, they created a question that said, if Ramrod is hosting a Disney princess themed enforced dress code and you are at the door, what is the dress code that everyone must be in?
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with this. I said, okay, first we're going to call it Drag Your Leather to Disney. Since, we're doing a princess theme, we're going to kind of get in drag. We're going to start with footwear, 6-inch stilettos, mandatory. A leather dress, but since we're a leather bar and we like it a little sleazy and slutty, it's got to be above the knee.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No gown. We need easy access. You have to have a leather bag, but if the bag doesn't match the shoes, you can't get in.
And that part right there,
that
part right there is what I was
it.
like, come on. I was like, all right, this is this is basics.
Mhm.
Bag and shoe need to match. Come on. Come on.
I mean, I thought everybody knew.
Right.
And of course, since it was a princess theme, everybody had to have a tiara.
Excellent. So
And
what were your oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said you have a tiara because what? You mentioned in a post, and I have a tiara because reasons.
I mean, I do have a tiara because I'm that bitch. So actually, I have a tiara because Epic gave me a tiara on my 50th birthday.
I did.
So, what was
Blade,
what was your favorite memory of the weekend?
Kind of like Justin, the favorite memories were all of the stuff that happened off stage.
Mm-hmm.
All of the stuff that happened in the time that we spent together, going through the orientation process, getting to know one another, going through rehearsals and all of that, and not knowing what the rituals were in becoming a part of IML, becoming that, a part of the Brotherhood of the Medallion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a process that they go through, and not knowing that was the process, I did not prepare myself emotionally, and I may or may not have shed a few tears.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty emotional.
Yeah, listen, that makes you human, and that's the part that makes you human.
There's no crying in leather,
but it still makes you human.
No, my allergies were acting up though.
Yeah,
it's the filtration system.
Yeah, that backstage area is a little dusty. I understand completely.
Or maybe the cap off of Justin's bottle got it squirted in your eye, maybe a little bit. Maybe that's what happened. Is that what we're gonna go with? We'll go with that. We'll go with that one.
Like I would miss a drop, Epic.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Because she's a professional, goddammit.
I mean,
so what was your favorite? Not your favorite, but the biggest. Go ahead, Blade.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what do you think is probably the biggest misconception for those men and others who want to run for a title at this national and international level? What do you think was the biggest misconception that you or others had going into it?
I guess the biggest misconception is that it is really more competitive than what it really is. You get 60 guys who are all in this contest, but there is no competition. When one brother is getting dressed and needs assistance, you've got another brother who is also a contestant right there helping him out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's back there encouraging one another. We're each other's biggest cheerleaders. And, that was great to be a part of that, where, yes, we're all trying to win this thing, but we're all helping each other to be our best.
What about for you, Justin? What was the biggest misconception for you going in?
I think for me, and this may just speak to the awesomeness of our class, I went in thinking that every single person I was competing against was going to be some Tom of Finland leather daddy kind of thing, right? Like, because that's, always the picture is this butch, masculine entity that most of us don't make up to or add up to. Mm-hmm. And some of the most amazing looks and amazing personalities were by people not even in full leather, right? Like, and that amazed me, and I had so much fun being amongst a group of people that was so diverse in all kinds of ways. And I think that was what kind of changed it for me. Because I hadn't really met all these people yet, right? Like, we have a little chat group thing, and, you can Google if you got the time. But, it was still kind of like, oh, these are some really cool personalities that I didn't think I would jive with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was like, oh, okay, I can deal with this. This is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So.
Okay. And I want to just also point this out, and I hope I'm not going to pronounce his name wrong. I'm going to butcher this, and please correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to take this time to say congratulations to both of you and your placements. But I also want to mention that the 2022 International Mr. Leather, Gail Longchuo, is that correct?
That sounds about right.
Okay. He was your Mr. Leather Belgium.
And he's Asian.
In 2020/2021, he's from Belgium, and he is Asian.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cutie.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a total of 60 men, and this was the IML class this was number 44. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. But at the same time, we also had the International Mr. Boot Black contest going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to congratulate also Alistair Leather Hireth, who was the Boot Black of Europe 2020, and they are from Swansea, Wales, in the United Kingdom. And first runner-up was for Mr. International Mr. Boot Black, Brother Award winner, and runner-up to the title was Steel Toe Scrivener, one of our Onyx brothers as well.
Yes.
So congratulations to him, to both of you. Job well done. Everybody looked amazing. Everyone sounded amazing from what I saw. And for I guess for Justin is how much he tasted. Do you need that Werther's now, or do you want to wait till later? Okay, all right.
I'm a little parched. I'll wait.
You're a little parched. Okay, all right.
I'm sure you have something to parch that thirst.
So I just want to go ahead and congratulate everyone on a job well done, because it's amazing. And yeah, I'm very happy for both of you, and I'm very happy for everyone that got to compete. In fact, we have other people in the audience as well. Eccentric was actually
Eccentric was at this year's IML as well.
Yeah, and I don't know who else is in here, but I saw Legionnaire. I'm going to say hi to him. But
Legionnaire is a former Leatherman of color.
Yes,
and Mufasa is Mr. World Leather,
or
Mr. World Leather, and Mr. Ebony Leather.
Okay,
yes.
So congratulations and all of you.
And we got a number of bad bitches in here,
Well, I mean,
bad bitches, bad bitch 2022.
Come on, it's bad bitch, that bitch, Miss that bitch,
okay.
And so I mean, it's
Thing,
right, Miss Thing and Miss Thang. So I mean, there's a lot of things. It's a lot of titles in here, and it's okay. It's all right.
Right.
So
Epic, what are you running for? Miss Thing or Miss Thang?
I am the inaugural Ms. Thing, as well as Miss Thang and Miss Thang, all of that.
And I have always been that bitch.
Yeah. So
there we are.
That's where we are.
So what's going on for the summer? Where will we be seeing you? What projects you got going on in the works? We'll start with you, Blade.
Next up for me is New York City Pride. Then in the month of July, I'll be in San Francisco for Up Your Alley. And then I'll be waiting for everybody to come to South Florida in October for Blackout.
Oh, definitely. Are you going to be home the first 2 weeks, like July 1st to the 10th?
Yes.
Okay, because that's when I'll be there.
Well, I will see you then.
Most definitely. What about you, Justin?
I'm going to be sleeping a lot, and I'm actually going down to Fort Lauderdale in June for a week. So excited for that to get away. I'm going to do some.
Why is it that we always seem to just miss each other in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, I'm like, what is that?
Because we can't take both of y'all at the same time.
True.
Right? No, yeah, the city Wilton Manors is only so big for our personalities. So
that's true.
I mean, that's what I did. I said I don't protect the personality. I don't have the pets, but I can bring the personality.
There you go.
I cannot with you, Justin.
Are you coming
Blake,
up for Folsom or anything?
Blake, tell him my nickname.
Oh, Justin is known as the Commodian because he's a comedian that's
we figured that part out.
Yes.
So
we named him the Wilton Manors Commodian.
Yes, he's quite the yes. He's a lot.
Well, I don't think that name will go to waste here in the DC area.
It will not.
It will not.
Are you coming up for Folsom, Justin?
I am not haven't yet. I am working on it.
Okay.
We're recalculating the bank account after this.
Baby,
Right.
I understand completely.
Yeah, because from what I understand, because I've actually never been to IML, but I understand it is quite a price tag, just for the weekend. But then also, I'm sure as a participant, it's quite a price tag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is what you put into it. Some people buy all new things. Some people use what they've got because they want to show what they're already wearing, what they're comfortable in to show.
Mhm.
Like, I bought a few accessories and stuff like that, just to add on to. But most of my stuff was my usual stuff that I wear out because I'd rather show my authentic self of what I have than buy something new and shiny just to put on a new show. So,
Right.
Absolutely.
And wouldn't you agree
not
that
that
you
that's a
can
bad thing.
tell?
Like, people do what they want to do. What's that?
Right. Wouldn't you agree that you can sort of tell when someone has like this brand new leather because they can't move in it?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel or look lived in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and so Blade, your on stage look was kind of a off-centered kind of ripped kind of Tarzan type of thing going on.
Loincloth.
Say it again.
It was a leather loincloth.
Leather loincloth. Okay, all right. Okay. I mean, it was just I listen, I was just looking at the pictures.
And did you wear your loincloth as one traditionally wears a loincloth?
Kind of like a la kilt as well?
I did not wear the loincloth traditionally because I didn't wear the back piece.
Oh, yeah.
I just wore the front.
Gotcha.
Oh.
But I chose a loincloth because, they say it's physique and you wear what you feel comfortable in and what you feel is your physique. I knew there would be a lot of jock straps.
Right.
There would be a lot of shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to go with something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
Loincloth. And then once I decided on that, my husband was like, yeah, you should probably just take the back of it off.
Listen, it feels like, I was just so proud of both of you for representing yourselves and representing us. I think you both are perfect representations. When people say what is community, you are both perfect representations of that. And so I personally want to thank both of you for not only taking the time to be here on our show, but for representing in the community. And we look forward to seeing you out and about.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. And Justin, just so you know, I will have a fresh batch of Werthers for you, just so that we're clear.
Thank you, Jesus. Because the one you left in your candy bowl that melted together wasn't working no more.
Any last words, gentlemen?
No. If those of you who have not had the opportunity to experience IML, please put that on your to-do list. I think everyone who goes will have an amazing time, whether you go just as an attendee or if at some point you decide to run for a title and enter the IML contest.
Excellent. Justin?
Ditto.
Short but sweet. We really appreciate it. So thank you, gentlemen. We really do thank you for taking the time. You're welcome to jump into the chat and keep joining in the conversation.
Stay in the conversation.
Yes.
Participate play amongst yourselves.
Yes.
Yes. We see all the comments.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you guys for being here.
Bye.
Bye.
So thank you to both of them. Both beautiful people. Both very sweet. And
I mean, I legitimately meant what I said. I mean, I no need to bullshit.
Well, no,
about them doing an amazing
I don't think
job.
anybody's will ever sit back and say that you done bullshit somebody like that. Me on the other hand, yeah, I will bullshit a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. But no, for the most part, I'm moving away from that. But let's be clear, if I don't fucking like you, then you know that I don't particularly care for you. So
I don't fuck with you.
That's just where we at. But no, both of them, I fucks with both of them. I think they're great people. I laugh and joke, and the whole thing with me and Justin, because I see Justin out like pretty often, mm-hmm. and it's this whole thing of like when you got for many of you that have gone to church with older church members, mm-hmm. there's always that old church woman that has like a mint or a piece of gum or that little Starlight Mint or Werther's or whatever. And so we were at Nellie's, I think, and Justin was like, we were talking about having something in your pocket. I think I had like a toothpick, a tooth flosser, and then I had like a piece of gum, and it was like random stuff. He was like, well, bitch, do you have any Werther's in there? Like, what else you got going on in it? So that's kind of our little thing. So I make sure that when I go out, I keep a little something in my pocket for Mr. Justin.
Excellent.
So
while they were out and about in the world, I had a staycation.
Yes, we had a conversation about this, and you planned for this. So did you want to share what your staycation?
I did. So we checked into the world-renowned Marriott Dulles Suites Hotel.
There it is.
Near
Marriott Dulles Suites.
Yes.
So all the lights of listen, Paris Hilton stayed there.
Exactly.
John F. Kennedy stayed there.
Exactly. The Obamas.
The Obamas.
I mean, I'm just
there. Like, come on. Like,
so it was lovely. I just wanted to sort of get away and have some time with the slave friend because he does a lot for me and for us. And I wanted to, show him that I'm not dead inside.
On a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
he's not dead inside on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. I'm just saying.
I thought it was important that, we spend some time together. I mean, we spend time together all the time, but that we have like some dedicated quality time. So we went to King Spa. We did make it there because the weather was going to be good and lovely. We're going back on Sunday. So I was going to talk to you about that after the show.
Yeah, we'll talk about this afterward.
Oh, you got a date with the artist?
No. The artist.
So you can so you all can cuddle. The artist.
I think I've been unfriended on Instagram too. I think.
Did he watch the show or something?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't fuck it. I like man. Right. I don't care. Shit. But I think I have been unfriended.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So King Spa is a Korean spa, like Spa World. So for those of you who don't know what a Korean spa is, now I only had two Korean spas to compare to, but they both have a similar concept. You walk in, there is a gender segregated men's side and women's side wet room. And in those wet rooms, you are naked. So there is heated pools, cold pools, a dry sauna, a wet sauna. You've been to Spa World, haven't you?
No, I have yet to go to Spa World.
Okay. So Spa World has a big, huge, I've never been on the women's side, but on the men's side, it's a big, huge pool with like water fountains and everything. It's like a sort of like a mini indoor adult water park, a very mini indoor, but there's jets and blah blah blah, and then they've got a couple of little side pools at different temperatures ranging from like 65 degrees, which is cold as shit compared to body temperature, and then all the way up to like 105 degrees or whatever, which is almost, it's not boiling, but and then they have a dry sauna and a wet sauna.
I don't like a dry sauna. I don't like a dry sauna.
It always, I could never stay in the dry sauna more than like 5 minutes. It feels like somebody is sitting on my chest.
But that wet sauna, baby.
Of course, the wet sauna at King Spa was broken, and they just opened too. So I was like, "How y'all gonna be broke already?"
Okay.
But the pool, the indoor naked pool at King Spa is much smaller, and it was nobody in it. Now here's the surprising thing. The parking lot was totally packed. And I was like, well, if no one's here in this pool, I was like, where are all of these people? Because everybody can't be in this Harris Theater.
Was it more women than men at that particular point?
There were, but all of these women that we saw a number of dudes. So when you leave the wet area, they give you basically like loungewear. So everyone's wearing this loungewear. And then there's a large sort of common area, co-ed, where they have food. The food was actually pretty good. They have lots of Asian stuff, obviously, but then they had lots of American and Mexican food and stuff.
Okay.
And then they have a number of different therapy rooms. Like they have an ice room where the room at Spa World has like actual ice on it.
Okay.
The room
Hey, Coyote.
at King Spa was just, you could just see like the refrigerator pipes. They also had a room that was covered in 24 karat gold leaf. They had one that was like a charcoal room where they had wood that had been attached to the wall and then burned. And then they had like a salt cave and then a bunch of other stuff. And so that's where probably, because there were almost zero people, at least on the men's side, in the wet areas. And I'm imagining on the women's side too.
Okay.
50% of the people were in this common area, and the other 50% were in the outdoor pool. So everything that they have at Spa World on the inside, but it was perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect. But I'm just saying it was hot as shit.
It was like perfect. Yeah. The pool, because the air was warm, but it was still a little breezy.
Wait, this was on Saturday or on Sunday?
On Saturday. So the water was like the perfect temperature, and they had all of the jets. And so like they have these directed jets, and baby, it was like they were giving you King Spa, Lola. But yeah, so the outdoor pool was everything. And so what I would say is that if you ever want to go to one of them, I would go to King Spa in the summertime or when the weather's warm, because they've got an outdoor pool, and you got to be 18 to get in. So ain't no kids and running around, because at Spa World they let little kids in. Now most of the kids were Asian, so I'm imagining, I heard them speaking whatever language they were speaking, so I'm imagining that this is something that they had at home. And when you go to a Korean spa in Korea, it's not, like other countries ain't like America, where people are afraid to be naked around their kids or whatever. First of all, ain't nobody jerking off at the pool. You just in the pool or whatever. But no one under 18 is allowed at King Spa. So during the summer months and when the weather's warm, I would give the edge to King Spa, because they got the outdoor area, and it really was. It was just like a cute little. It was like an outdoor adults only pool party, kind of.
Okay.
But in the winter, I would go to Spa World. And so when we left, as we're driving, Spa World is very family oriented. Although I don't know, I've seen a couple of kids in there, and none of the kids are like 4 or 5. They all been like 12, 13, 14 or whatever. But as we were leaving Spa World or King Spa, we're driving past, and I was like, is that a motherfucking Zaxby's?
I did,
bitch.
Post.
A Zaxby's. Now, I have been doing my research, and prior to last week, the closest Zaxby's was just north of Richmond. Zaxby's is now officially in the greater DC metro area. So I will be making a trip 60 miles to go to Zaxby's.
I'm going to go ahead and be the Russian judge, which is what I will always be. Are you on your way coming back from someplace and you're stopping at Zaxby's because there's nothing else to stop at? Or are you literally gassing your car up to go out there to go specifically to Zaxby's to eat something and then come back?
No. I would never.
I just want to make sure I understand.
I don't have plans to go all the way out to Dulles specifically to go to Zaxby's.
Okay.
Now, we are talking about going to King Spa this weekend, and we will go to Zaxby's probably. I'll probably grab something on the way back from there, but I'm not driving 60 miles to go.
Because I was
Zaxby's,
like,
because I'm making, and it's a Zaxby's across the so there's a Royal Farms right next to the Zaxby's.
Okay.
And I told De Niro this out where Sater lives.
Oh yeah.
They're building a cookout.
once again, so what I will say
The
is about
milkshakes
Cookout,
at Cookout are
the milkshakes
amazing.
were amazing. Like the choices were amazing.
And the burgers were fine, but
They
they
were
weren't.
alright,
They weren't
but they
giving
weren't-
everything that he was. He was
like,
making it sound out.
oh
to
my
me,
God,
but,
we're not gonna go down that road because
Right.
that was just one.
But I told him, and he was like, "What?" He was very. He was very. That was a lot that weekend.
Yeah, that was yeah. But
So that was that. I mean, we had a good time. We went to my old favorite, to Guapo's, and I had a margarita that was so big I almost couldn't finish it. But bitch,
Mama didn't raise no punk.
Ain't raised no punk. It was a big, like the big bowl margarita, and I was like, I don't think I can finish this, and I was like, no.
And then you lick around the edge of the glass.
Exactly. Baby. Yeah. So that was good. And so that was my weekend. It was really sort of low key and didn't do much. What about yours?
This was Black Gay Pride, and so I was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Julie, our cruise ship director, Deviant, had us going out and about, and we must have hit every damn BBP party, and we had a good time, which was really, really, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But a bitch is old, and I had this moment where
I was tired just looking at Deviant's pictures.
Yeah, I had this moment where we literally had went to the Green Lantern, and we were outside waiting for the let out because it's always kind of people let out, and so it's Deviant, Spectre, Anani, and we were all out there. Actually, Spectre had left at that particular point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And but for me, I started thinking about how many Memorial Days I had. I was like, bitch, it's been 31. Like I've had 31 motherfucking Memorial Day weekends where I've gone to have like a whole bunch of fun. And I remember saying, like, bitch, I had a great time. Well, at this particular one, while we're sitting outside, not all of my crew, but the majority of my crew happened to be coming there. And so it was like I had a flashback to like 1990 or like 2000 when we were all like hanging out and doing shit. And so we're all sitting around. And it was like me and Maximus and Valentine Leather and a whole bunch of other people. We were all sitting around. I was like, bitch, and then I just started laughing on the inside because I was like, there's so much history right here and so much comedy of shit that went down that like it was one of those good feelings.
Good.
And but it ended on a good note, but I was tired and I just I checked out early. I was like, I just
like, all right, bye.
Yeah, I was like, I had to go. But more importantly, I want to mention this today before we go any further. So today is June 1st.
Yes.
This starts 30 days of Epic.
Yes.
And every single day I try to do something for myself and reward myself in some way, shape, or form. That's just one of the things I'm doing for myself. And it also, for me, is it's the reason for this season, this 30 days of Epic, is because it's my mom's birthday. And so I woke up this morning feeling it really weird and in a very weird space. And so I did reach out to my mom and I was talking to my mom, but and I think I've told you all before, with her dementia and her moments of lucidity or whatever, it's the mom that I knew is gone. And so I have to make it what it is.
Right.
And so I was very glad to talk to her and very glad to hear her and laugh. But it had me off all day. I don't know what it was. I've just been off all day about that. But I'm saying happy birthday to her, and I said it to her as well.
When is her birthday?
It's today.
Oh, it's today. Okay, got it. Okay.
And I'm just feeling a little bit off, and it's just a little off, and
strong Xander.
Xander. Yeah. But
do you need a tissue?
No. I'm good. I've had all my is this the tissue that we stole off of the
one of the four? Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention that I somehow the loungewear from King Spa ended up in my bag.
Somehow.
Yes, somehow. I wouldn't use that corner though.
Do we have the disinfectant? Okay. But anyway, so yeah, happy birthday, Mom. And
happy birthday, Mary Alice.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. But
Miss Mary Alice, sorry, I don't know her like that.
But that's what we're doing.
Yes. So let's dive into. We got a couple of stories. So Cardi B helps Playboy make money by reportedly growing its revenue by 125%. So she made history when she became Playboy magazine's first creative director in residence, as reported by Afrotech. Now she's delivering on what she came there to do by taking the brand's financial gains to the next level. So, along with her position as creative director, she's also a founding member and the founding creative director of the Centerfold platform, which intersects both the culture and sex over at the brand that has captivated many for decades. It is dedicated to creative freedom and artistic expression, as well as sex positivity, which makes Cardi the perfect person to lead the charge.
So, what she did was she actually, on the close of their first quarter revenue for the year, they reportedly announced that under Cardi's reign, the company grew its direct-to-consumer revenue by 125%, bringing its year-over-year to an astounding $49.6 million. In addition to that, the company's total year-over-year revenue now sits at $69.4 million. Listen, her influence can't be touched and compared to anyone else. She's always marched to the beat of her own drum, and she never shied away from sharing her story to inspire others, because Cardi's story is probably very similar to many people that's in this room tonight. But listen, kudos to her, congrats to her, and congrats to Playboy. So let's keep it moving. Let's make some more money.
Shabam.
Yeah.
So Laverne Cox is finally getting her own Barbie doll as she makes history. Laverne Cox is making history as Mattel releases a Barbie doll celebrating the trailblazing trans icon. The brand new collectible is the first of its kind for Barbie, giving trans girl a doll that represents them. She says that so many trans girls grew up wishing that we had dolls to play with, and now there's one made especially for us. The doll, which has been released in celebration of Cox's 50th birthday. She is 50?
She's our age.
She is our age. And in time for Pride season, is available from Amazon, Target, and Walmart. It's part of Mattel's tribute collection, which also celebrates Maya Angelou, Ella Fitzgerald, and Vera Wang.
Congrats. The doll was actually, I was trying to figure out does it look like the Laverne? To me,
Those
it
dolls
doesn't really
generally have the same look. It's the other things that will say.
Yeah, but I thought the Tyra Barbie doll looked kind of like her.
Yeah, because Tyra kind of looks like a doll.
Well, yeah, she does have the matching
anyone
head.
Can get the.
She does have the matching head, but I mean, it is what it is.
It's a surgery. Anyway, so do we want to talk about Drag Race or Legendary first?
So let's go with Legendary. So let me.
Where's our pictures?
So this is okay. So we will talk about Legendary. We will also talk about,
because I have
Drag
extensive
Race.
notes,
and this is why I remember that from the first time. Legendary, for me, if we're not going to show footage, we can explain it, but I don't want to show. I don't think we should show footage. I think that's
no. We're not going to show. But it's hard to find pictures.
Yeah, and so I did that mock up for last week just to give you a house. Yeah, we're not gonna do that every single week.
It's also a lot to watch.
It's a lot to watch 3 episodes.
Jesus, because by the 3rd episode, I was like,
and so for me, I'm feeling this thing of, while I was waiting for it, but I'm feeling like, what the fuck is going on? Like, y'all getting on my nerves now. Like, I'm starting to not like this. It's something about
there was a few things though. There was a few
keys. But let's jump into it. But there's no.
So there were 3 episodes, right? The first episode was a horror house with Issa Rae.
Yes.
And so they each had to do a take on horror.
Can we just stop for a minute and just talk about Laomi's motherfucking costume? I mean, Laomi's look, which was the Freddy Krueger, the latex Freddy Krueger, it was amazing. I was like, come on, girl. I was here for that.
And I do want to say that generally Kiki is a much better judge than Megan Thee Stallion.
Kiki comes across as older than Megan Thee Stallion, which is really funny.
Which is weird, because I think she's actually younger.
She's younger. I think she's younger than her, but she comes across as older.
It's a level of maturity, but I don't mean maturity like Meg Thee Stallion. Meg was giving me too much Paula Abdul trying to be liked by the kids, whereas Kiki is like, this performance was terrible.
Yeah, it's very professional, and let's keep
She's like, your performance was terrible. I'm giving you a 4.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah, like she was
and
very.
When she gave the girls a 10, and they was like, "How you even? Oh, y'all are still talking about that?"
Exactly. Yeah,
she didn't give a fuck. So anyway, Issa Rae looked gorgeous always. So Revlon did American Horror Story Coven. I thought the story was great. The costumes were great, and I love the choreo. Yamamoto.
Wait, American Horror Story Coven? That's what they do?
That's what they said that they were doing. some of these performances did not give what it was supposed to have gave or what they said it was supposed to give. So Yamamoto, they did carry, and I thought that was pretty
cute.
good. The costumes were basic but appropriate.
It was. Now, something that was driving me crazy.
The choreography was.
Something that was driving me crazy on her costume was the fact that you had blood dripping down you, but when you moved that damn line, you saw this clear spot. I was like, girl, if you don't put that red down, but that was me being that was me being picky.
House of Ada did Queen of the Damned. This one they were also supposed to be given like Femme Queen or something. Yeah, I think this was the one they were supposed to do like Femme Queen as part of their thing, which was why whoever it was had those big fake titties.
Yes,
which I thought were distracting. I didn't think that they went with what was going on. Naomi loved them though.
But baby, the thing is, listen, on the ballroom scene when you say Femme Queen, baby, listen,
those big titties. The
bigger the titties, the bigger the ass, the bigger the everything. That's what the Femme Queens give.
Right. Alpha Omega, they did Saw. It was kind of entertaining but chaotic. And Law gave them a gag flag. I was like, Law, you are thinking with your pussy.
Yeah, it was not.
You are thinking with your pussy. You are only giving these girls all of this because you think they're sexy and you want to get flued out.
It just wasn't.
I can't believe I just said flued out.
It's all right. It's on tape. It's going to be there forever. It's just going to stay there forever. It's all right. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It was all right. It was
okay, but I didn't think they definitely did not deserve a gag.
But just like Kiki's, they shouldn't have got a gag flag from Kiki either. I mean, the first week. But
yeah, man, like if Juicy Couture ends up at the bottom somehow, then those bitches get a gag flag. Oh, you're not saying it for them?
Let's go through.
Okay, all right. Speaking of which, Juicy Couture was next. They did Nightmare on Elm Street, which I thought I loved it.
I loved it, especially the arm piece.
Yes, the arm piece. I love that.
I love that. Yeah.
Machiavelli did Hellraiser. The choreography was a little sloppy. The hand performance was sloppy, and it was no real story. It was just okay, Hellraiser. Okay, you got pins on your face. Okay, got it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, LaBeija. They did The Ring, and I felt like it wasn't The Ring. I felt like it wasn't The Ring. I felt that they did Ring Around
the Collar.
I felt like they were giving soft cousin it realness.
They were doing ring around.
I said it's a no for me, and I am not seeing it the way the judges did because the judges liked them mostly.
I didn't.
So then they had,
and they didn't do what the category called for, as far as I was concerned.
No, not at all. So then they had a Butch Queen performance where, like, this is where the men do Butch Queen, and so my note is that it was +5 for Revlon for Butch Queen. And that let them with a 49, so that left them.
That was Butch Queen Runway, Couture, wasn't it? It was a runway category?
It was Butch Queen Runway, yes.
Runway, yeah. Which is one of my categories.
So that left Juicy Couture with 50 points, Revlon with 49 points, Yamamoto with 38, Ada with 37, Alpha Omega with 35, Machiavelli with 27, but they got a gag flag. Oh, no. Alpha Omega got a gag flag.
Yeah.
Machiavelli got a 27 and LaBeija got a 39. So it was Machiavelli versus
LaBeija.
Yamamoto?
No, it was LaBeija, wasn't it?
No, because LaBeija got 39. So Yamamoto had it was Alpha Omega. Oh, that's right. They got chopped. So it was Yamamoto versus Machiavelli. And I think Machiavelli was in the bottom. Because they were in the bottom.
They were in the bottom
for both times.
Yes.
And okay, so yes. So Ada got chopped and Juicy Couture got Superior House.
Listen, I'm not saying that I don't see it for Juicy Couture. I think there's some out of what's here. I think they're cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's nothing wrong with it. I think they're cute. That's all.
So anime with Bob the Drag Queen. Revlon did Athena meets Schiaparelli. I didn't see it for the choreography. I thought it was
Yeah, I was just like,
Yamamoto did 7 Deadly Sins. I said I did not see it.
Where the fuck was the 7 Deadly Sins? I didn't even 5 of y'all on stage.
So here was the gag on that part, because the house mother who Aoki, I think her name is.
Yes.
I'm actually friends with her on Facebook. I didn't know who that
Aoki
was.
Lee Terrell, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she grabbed the mic. She was like, somebody on this panel keeps consistently giving us low marks. And so Deshaun was like, who? She was like, Leomi keeps giving us low marks. And then she started to get real heated. She was like, we above legend. And Leomi
was
said,
like, it is
not on the same level. Not on the same level.
When I tell you that was the read,
baby,
because the way she was so unbothered, she was like, baby, we are not even on the same level at all. And the sad part, well, not even the sad part, but the gag is spot the lie. You can't.
But then they sort of reconciled because
they did.
Leomi was like, "Girl, I'm not coming for you."
But Miss Lele's petty. Let's be clear, Miss Lele.
She is.
She can be petty.
She can be petty, but also spot the lie. I mean, you know, even if Leomi, it would be different if everybody else was giving you high marks and Leomi was giving you low marks consistently. You got consistently low marks.
Yeah,
you may have felt singled out by Leomi as the other trans woman on the panel or whatever, but Leomi was not the only person giving you low marks.
And Leomi was speaking very truthfully.
Right.
Like, as far as I didn't see anything wrong with it, but she was speaking very truthfully. But you know,
yes. Alpha Omega did Dragon Ball Z. I thought the look was cute, but I did not see it for the performance. I did not really see it for Alpha Omega until Old Boy came out. At the end, the last one, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. That six pack and them cakes. She's doing it for me a little bit.
She was soft and kind. She was soft and kind.
I love a big old, because he looks like he's about 6'2", 6'3". You know, I love a big old muscle-bound girl.
But that baby, when I tell you she was just as soft and dainty and feminine, I was like,
that turns me on.
We're carrying. And I felt like Leomi, I was like, because bitch, that's one of the one of the old ballroom tricks where they say, you listen, when the girls get up and they want to perform, and one of the girls want to be all in front of the judge's face, and they just want to be popped up and spin all across the floor and slamming their back down, doing all these tricks and stunts. Listen, you find your place in the back of the motherfucking runway, and you stand there, you get just as soft and feminine as you can, and you make them pay attention to everything that you got going on in the back.
So Juicy Couture did Schoolgirls, and I fucking loved it. I loved their look for that one. Machiavelli did Street Fighter, and I saw what they were going for. That rock was
getting wearing me out. I was like,
it was wearing me out. That was Alpha Omega that was doing that rock, because they were doing Dragon Ball Z. The house father had
and he was like, stop that rock. Just stop it.
Because it's just. He's just like, bitch, I saved you last time, and now you're making me look like a fucking fool.
Yeah.
And Jamila was coming a little hard. She was like, bring that energy or leave. So, you know, and then LaBeija, you know, they stay talking shit. Our goal is to be superior house. And here's my note. This was before the final result. I said, your Brista don't see it, but sure. Didn't see enough duck walks. I thought the costumes were cute. Then they did beat to beat, which I didn't understand what the fuck that even meant.
So
I understood what it meant when it was me and you, and we had to sort of do the same thing.
No,
but who the fuck was that shadow?
So this is what beat to beat is supposed to be. Beat to beat is literally supposed to be whatever song you play, you catch every single beat.
Okay, so
that's what beat to beat
is. The shadow in the back didn't mean
the shadow in the back for me was them trying to make it so that you can see
all of the beats,
like how much they catch it.
Okay, well, that didn't come off well.
It didn't come off well for some people, but if you pay attention to a couple of them, you can see that the person and the shadow were right on beat. Like they were both in the same. The shadow, in fact, was more on beat than the person, because the person was going a little bit fast.
Yeah.
So, but beat to beat performance, and then you can also pass the beat when it's between two people. You can go back and forth. But beat to beat performance is supposed to be literally catch every single beat.
Now, I like the beat to beat when it was you and someone behind you, and y'all had to do beat to beat. But some of them you could tell
choreography.
Some of them you could tell that. So I'm going to, whatever the beat is,
right?
I'm going to do this, and we're going to do this. Then we're going to. It's like
that was just
1 and 2
choreography.
and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
Yeah,
so
it was and I don't like that. And again, beat to beat, it's like you should even break it down and go from like, and then you finish
right.
Like it can be, you know what I mean? It has to be something, but but whatever.
And then so once again, and Juice Couture got +5, so they got 50. So they were
good. I like the beat to beat performance.
Yeah, and so they were Superior House for the second episode in a row.
Yes,
and LaBeija got chopped, and it was time for them to go because I don't think that all through the performance they never lived up to all of the hype. We're the originators or blah blah blah. I don't think that. Listen, and once again,
that collection,
was the worst Voguer on that team is way better than me. So I'm not saying that I am the expert in it, but if you're going to say our goal is to be Superior House, then your performance needs to at least be in the top. You were at the bottom, which was why you was competing to get sent home, and you got chopped
by the Beija girl.
Right. So last one, Mission Impossible with Jake Wesley Rogers, who I had never heard of before. I hadn't
either. But can we just talk about Deshaun's coat? That look was very cute. It was a trench coat with the plastic overlay.
Sometimes Deshaun's looks don't do it for me, but sometimes
that trench coat
gives a look, and I'm like, okay, I see it for you.
I saw it. That trench coat, I was there for it. I like that.
You know what it is? Sometimes he wears too much makeup.
Well, that's every day on the show. I mean,
yeah. So Revlon did Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I like their performances and their costumes. Yamamoto turned it with Dick Tracy, who played Roger Rabbit. It wasn't cunt to me. I didn't feel it was cunt, but I felt like they didn't go far enough. If you're going to give Jessica Rabbit, I mean, Jessica Rabbit is soft cunt.
She is, but yeah, she is.
And they could have. But for this competition, they already had. If you're going to do Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
then Jessica needs to be the.
And Jessica was, but they didn't take it far enough for me. Yeah. But it still was a great,
it was a performance.
Great performance. Yeah, but they got 10s across the board, which I didn't think they deserved.
I didn't think it should have got 10s across the board, but I think it was a great performance.
Yes, Alpha Omega did 70 Soul Brothers, and I said, "Oh, that was the one where it was Rebel when he came out." In those with brown level
with the Burberry crisscross across the heart bra,
and I said, now I'm thinking
he was up on stage,
right? It was like, oh, now I'm thinking with my pussy.
He was up on stage like,
right,
and took it, break it up.
No. Rebel was the one that came out at the very end that had on like the brown leather pants. The other ones had on Burberry, but he did not have on Burberry.
He had it crisscrossed.
Yeah, but it wasn't
started.
Burberry.
Well, they were all.
He came from the.
He was in the back.
He was back of the stage.
He was up on the stage at the top.
No. That was the light skinned one who was voguing.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about her. That's not Rebel. Rebel was the cute muscle boy who came in from the.
Okay, I got
yes.
You. Okay,
and so that's what I said. Now I'm thinking with my pussy.
Got you. I'm mixing up people. Okay.
Yes, and then Machiavelli did Austin Powers. Great costumes, okay performance. Then they did Old Way with a floor performance and +5 to Juicy Couture. So you didn't see it.
Let's go on.
Okay.
I am not. Listen,
It's not.
It just was not.
It's a no for you.
It was not. But okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my thing back. Come on now. There we go. All right. Enter the studio. All right. So I'm back. All right, so last notes. So Juicy Couture were Superior House for the third week in a row. Alpha Omega got chopped. So so who was it? It was Alpha Omega versus Machiavelli. Yeah. And so it was really close, and it came down to this Jake Wesley Rogers person, and he gave the nod to Machiavelli because it was 2-2.
Yeah, but Machiavelli is probably going to be the next house to go as far as I'm concerned.
I think so, yeah.
Because
yeah. Yamamoto has been in the bottom a number of times. Oh no, it was Machiavelli that's been both of them.
Yes,
Machiavelli. The only two for me that's a lock for the finale is Revlon and Juicy Couture.
Yeah. So I'd like to see how that's going to go. So we'll see. But is next week going to be the last?
the last series. I think it ends this week.
Yeah, I think okay.
So that would be 9 episodes.
Okay,
So
yeah. All right.
over 3 fucking weeks. Like, bitch, they crammed all
lot.
that. Why? I don't understand why they.
Even they did 2 a week. I think I'd have been.
Yeah,
I'd
I
been
was
okay
like,
with that.
girl,
But 3 was
trying
like
to
it's
watch.
a lot. That was
I mean,
a lot.
everybody isn't trying to do it like a show like we are.
Well, yeah. Well, so anyway, let's get now into.
Oh, wait a minute, are we? Is
that's
it showing? I just want to make sure it's showing. Okay, good.
Is
All
it
right.
showing? Okay,
It is.
So let's get into Drag Race. And so this week's Drag Race episode consisted of.
Dylan said Juicy Couture is the Ben de la Creme of the season. Girl, if them bitches write their own name on a lipstick, I'm gonna be so mad.
Bitch. This week's Drag Race, they had to do 3 looks on stage.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was, you can go to the next scene. First of all, let's start with Rue. This was Rue's look.
I kind of like the side swoop out. I mean, it's still a variation on a theme.
It's
the dress is basic Rue.
It's McCall's pattern number 5462 with a split.
It's cute, but it's starting. This look is starting to be very dated.
It's very Rue. It's her aesthetic, and it's like, all right, fine, but it's very tableclothy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's all right.
It does feel like someone
like my grandmama's tablecloth or something.
Doilies.
Yeah, like doilies all over like on the
and like know, if you were like
buffet.
If you were like in college or like a design student, and you're like, bitch, I turned my grandmother's tablecloth into a fabulous gown. Yeah,
and there it
not
is.
For international drag superstar RuPaul. Sure. All right.
So
Vanna White
realness. Yes, she did. So Vanna White realness. She's before and after,
because I've seen
realness
Vanna White
of Fortune
before.
Eleganza.
She did not look that good the last time I was. She looked fine, but I'll just say she's been refreshed.
I think she's probably had very minimal work.
Coyote said starting to be dated.
I think she's had very minimal work.
Yes,
but
she ain't had as much work done as Pat Sajak.
No, but I also think that she's not Heather Locklear, because I think Heather Locklear made a deal with the devil between her and Morgan Fairchild. But they it seemed like they but Morgan I think has gotten some work done. But again, it's like they made deals with the devil. Like they just starting to, like these white women are starting to age. But I think looks pretty good. So it's for the Vanna White realness and the realness of Fortune Eleganza, they have brought Vanna White onto the program. And so when the girls came out onto stage, many of them didn't know that she was there until they turned the corner with their Vanna White looks.
Right.
So because there were 3 different looks, I put all 3 of them together for each person.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go and
fewer slides.
But yeah, not as much, same amount of pictures, but fewer slides. So anyway, next slide. If you see this, let's start with Raja. And so the Vanna White realness, they had to come out looking like Vanna White, and I think she nailed that because she gave me every 80s dynasty character, if, what you will for that.
Mm-hmm.
The and look like Vanna. The before and after was not an homage to, but it was very much of like, you have to do something that was a combination of 2 different things.
Yeah.
And it's almost like your outfit changes from one into another.
Yes.
And then there were some slight variations on that. So this was Raja's look. Raja's look was what's her name from Greece?
Olivia
Newton-John Waters.
Got it.
And so,
and I didn't see John Waters at all.
If you look really closely,
got the pencil thin.
It's a very
but even though John Waters' mustache is pencil thin,
he always wears
you can see little bit.
And so you can't really see it on Raja. So it's like it didn't really work very well. But she gave a really good Olivia Newton-John.
She gives an amazing Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah. So I was like, okay.
Raja out of drag look like somebody grandma.
Oh my gosh. But the bitch in drag with this fabulousness right here with all these fringes and ruffles, the top of this gown was amazing. The bottom was just a straight, but she looked amazing.
It was like just a pencil skirt.
Yeah, right? Raja can turn a fucking look. The bitch is, there's a reason why she won season 2. So and she will give, like she's doing right now, she's giving the girls a run for their money.
Yeah.
As far as these fashions are concerned. So anyway, this next slide. So again, the 3 different looks. Over here on the right, you see Trinity. She did RuPaul Charles II. And so she's giving RuPaul around the hair, and then Charles II being, on the right, which she shows the knickers or whatever.
I thought that was kind of cute. I didn't feel like it came off. It wasn't enough, like to.
You didn't know who it was right away.
Right, but I mean, you understand that Charles II is like royalty, so but that doesn't necessarily read quite as royalty without. It wasn't enough.
Yeah, but the hair was spot on for Rue. Like that's just a
Yes.
Rue thing right there.
Mhm.
So it's like, all right, cool.
Her Vanna White look was very.
Her
good.
Vanna White look was really good, and this gown was really beautiful.
It
Really,
was.
really beautiful.
She said it was like 1,000 pounds too.
Yeah. Now this before and after look that she did. I'm trying to think of what it was actually called. What she actually. I'm sorry. I mean, this is the Fabulosity, the extravaganza.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But she wears her ass out, which was cute. You know, I'm here for it. Like in the upper left, you see like the butt crack because she kind of had the sides out, and
yes.
But she's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Like her face is beat, and she is definitely. As Law would say, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. So I was here for that look. It was cute.
The funniest part of that whole show was like, so Mimi, you still wanna, you still wanna, or you wanna meet me outside? Law, I was like, Law, you ain't gonna fight nobody, girl.
I don't believe she would have, but I was also trying to figure out, bitch, why are you picking? Like you're picking. This is a scab. Why are you picking?
Yeah, you could just let it go.
But okay.
You know how the girls want to talk shit.
And then you turn around and give them like, girl, just because you was wrong. You were wrong. You were wrong.
Well, no, old boy was wrong because he was like, catch me outside as he was walking off stage.
He was wrong for saying that.
Right.
Absolutely. But Law was wrong because he was dicking him over. He was like treating him like shit, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right.
Jada. So Jada, listen, this gown up here on the left, the fabulousness. I mean, listen, she made this thing in it's like 3 or 4 different textures.
Yes.
Chains and sheer and black leather, and she put the epaulets, but the shoulder pieces on or whatever, and she made it all within one day.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. The red look is her bag lady. So it's literally all these bags sewn on this gown. And it actually looks very, very cute. And it's very Jada.
Yes.
Very, very Jada.
It reminds me of Lala when it was like, you know, you had, because they had to take, didn't they have to like take stuff that was on the table or something like that?
Yeah. And Lala, so you talking about Lala Reed with the paper bag, which
right,
I'm still annoyed with her. Because
right, because I was like, girl, you could have cut them open.
If you could have cut them open, it would have covered up more.
I was thinking about that. I was like, you had like a bunch of bags. She could have cut that over and she could have put on like one layer and then put another layer and then had like a cute little mini skirt with it. And then
listen,
girl.
So, it'll go down in history as one of the worst things ever.
Along with Monet's sponge dress. Which Monet swears is
I don't like it though.
Masterpiece.
I don't like it, but it's like, okay, I get it. It's funny. But anyway, Jada.
And also Dylan says he's from Chicago. Why do motherfuckers say I'm from Chicago? Motherfuckers from Chicago get their ass whooped all the time. I have seen people from Chicago get their ass beat.
Bitch, so you doing all this. I'm from such and such, bitch. I'm already reaching in my purse to go grab something and fuck you up if I ain't already done it.
Because see, I don't play fight.
It's a fight.
I don't like, because once I've decided that I've got, it's rarely about, I don't start a fight, but I will finish it. So while you're like, I'm from Chicago, I'm from Dallas, bitch, I'm from Atlanta. Meanwhile, I've already gotten in and be like, bye. And then like walked away, girl, because I'm not.
Oh no, I'm not gonna walk away. If I jump on you, if I jump on a bitch, I'm jumping on you.
You will jump.
I'm just listen. Her Vanna White was cute. Jada,
it was cute, yeah.
But it was given very much of like, it was like young girl going to the prom in the 80s with this flat hair.
She does look like a child.
Yeah, and it's almost like she just shook this hair out the bag and just put it on. But okay, all right. Next up, we had the Vivian. Listen, let's start with the Vivian.
The Vivian knows how to paint in a natural
baby.
Beat that is so like, because this look in the upper left is so.
She was given, that was her
like,
Vanna
White
realness.
Doesn't look like a drag queen at all.
Not at all. And this light
neither.
blue, absolutely fucking gorgeous. The silhouette, the color, the fit.
And she said, she said RuPaul wants this dress. And Ru was looking at that dress like, bitch.
It's a beautiful
I
fucking
am
gown.
going to come up on this stage and take that shit right off of you.
Listen, Vivian's before and after look was the lady Diana Ross. So she was giving.
I got the Diana Ross part. I didn't really get the
Lady Di.
Diana.
So
Lady
when she came out, she was being very, very. Her signature look was that blue with
it didn't quite come off.
But that's
sure.
what it went off into that. So that's what we're doing.
Her Vanna White didn't.
It didn't do it for me. It wasn't Vanna White at all. It was very much of like a girl that at the last minute found something.
It looks like she's going out to brunch with her girlfriend.
Yeah, and is getting ready to try to go to church or something.
She's left the kids with their father.
Yeah, it's not doing Vanna for me.
Or she's just coming from breaking up a happy home.
Or it's missing something. I don't know what it is, but it's not doing anything. Now, Jinx Monsoon. So her Vanna White look, I thought she was beautiful in her Vanna White look. And it gave Vanna, but not for her.
But the gag was she got lucky as shit because I didn't see this as Vanna at all, but this was literally what Vanna was wearing on stage.
Yes.
So
kudos to her for that.
Yeah.
The purple look was her fabulous.
Oh, and that was the one you had to sew.
Yes,
and
she can't sew.
Do appreciate. Because you know how sometimes the girls be like, oh, thank you. She immediately was like, I can't sew worth a fucking damn.
Yeah.
And without Trinity, this look would have been a mess. So I appreciated that she came right out and was like, because that's to me is like, bitch, we already know what your skills is. It seems like, bitch, this is the one thing I'm not good at.
Yeah, it's honorable, and it gives Trinity the fucking credit that she's owed. And while she just told her to glue this here, glue that there, I mean, that was fine, but it was still her eye. It was an editing eye.
Right. And I mean, it looks terrible, but it doesn't look terrible.
Right. Like she said, I'm happy with 2 out of 3 of my looks.
Right.
But this, whatever happened to Baby Jane Fonda,
that worked.
That was cute, and it was so campy.
It was very
jinxy,
very Barbarella.
Yeah,
meets So
it worked, and it was so cute for her. So kudos to her for that. And then Monet, all right. I liked Monet, but this Vanna White, it was giving too much thigh and ass. Like Vanna ain't giving that much ass.
Out.
From the front, yes, it would have, but that split should have been down a little bit further. But I mean, it was all right. Now, her green look, which was giving fabulousness.
That was the look she had to make. I was like,
Now, the idea...
It's cute, but...
Yeah, but now the idea of her, the Bob, the drag queen, Elizabeth.
Yes.
It worked in motion, but in print, I don't like this look.
Yeah.
Because she came in purse first and she was shaking it as if she was the Queen Elizabeth and all, but then she went into Bob.
First of all, Queen Elizabeth ain't never gonna wear nothing sleeveless like that. She has been Queen Elizabeth is like 96 years old. She has been a woman of a certain age almost as long as we have been alive. Bitch, when we were born, she was 50.
Yeah.
So almost 50. So, and a 45-year-old woman in 1970, a white 45-year-old woman in a British white woman in 1971 ain't even a white woman born now. So yeah, look, Elizabeth, she ain't never wear. I mean, so I feel like it should have been more of a regular sort of coat. And if you were going to do Bob the drag queen, I feel like she was relying on being black.
No, but this is one of Bob's. But she did what you didn't see didn't see a lot of was the paint that was coming down. There's a little bit of paint, like when Bob did that, he had the fluorescent color paint. There's like one streak down.
I mean, I don't hate it.
It just didn't translate very well to me. But Shea Coulee. Okay, so her fabulousness look at the bottom here, given very New Orleans, very slave quarters, very African pride, but upper chic type of thing.
Yeah,
was amazing. Her face looks amazing. It was just amazing. It was a great white look, but it was a wedding gown, and she said she did that before.
Yeah, she didn't want to, but that was where it was sort of.
Yeah, that was where it was taking her.
And it was like, look, bitch, we only got so much time, so we're going to make the best wedding dress we can.
And that's what she did. So it was cute. Now her Vanna White, it didn't really give me Vanna White.
It was fabulous.
It was given like Mother of the Bride type of thing, as opposed to like Vanna White. Now, her before and after look, the gold tooth fairy.
Yeah,
I thought that was cute, the idea
cute.
of it, because she had the wrench in her hand. I was like, it was cute, and it worked for her. It looks very, very age appropriate and attitude appropriate because she was coming down. It was working, just like her wedding look over here. It looked good on her. So I'm okay with Shay, but she's not. Shay started off really strong, and I feel like somewhere it's like she's losing a little bit of gas. I don't know. For me, it's not a bad thing, and it's not like it's bad, but it's just losing a little bit of gas, a little bit of steam. So Evie Oddly, by far for me, had one of the best before and after looks. Just the idea of it. So she was Cardi B Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
And so she looked very much, and when she turned around and put her ass out, I was like, bitch, this is all about Cardi B.
Yes.
Now this Vanna White look with this red hair.
Yeah, no.
This ain't even
No.
nothing. It just, her fabulousness look, I actually liked it.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was punk gothish, and I kind of liked it. Only she could pull that off, and that's cute. Like her aesthetic is her aesthetic, but I like the title of this as her Cardi B Arthur thing. I really like that. So that was good for me. The top two contestants of the week were Jada and Trinity the Tuck, and they were on stage. Now Jada came out with this badass motherfucking fringed.
I love a fringe pantsuit.
Listen, that's like deviant. What's your favorite color? He's like fringe. Right. Like, okay. But it was amazing. She had this very long ponytail, and she was up on stage swinging it, and they had to go,
I don't
lip
know
sync.
that Jada won though.
I definitely don't think Trinity won. I think it's kind of like lesser of two evils type of thing for me.
But Trinity had the plunger, so she couldn't win. Even if she had won, no,
Trinity didn't have the plunger that week. Just because Trinity got it, that was Trinity Shay got her start. Shay has
had the plunger for this week.
Yes, had the plunger
from the last week because Jinx had given it to her from Snatch Game.
Yes, so Trinity finally got her star. Jada got her star, even though Jada won the lip sync. And then what happened was Jada then gave the plunger to Jinx,
which made sense.
Yes,
because again, listen, bitch, you fucked up on a week that it didn't matter. So next week we know you're gonna come back and slay the kids. So now we're gonna keep you from getting a second star.
So I mean,
anybody giving one to Evie? Listen, I like Evie, but I don't feel like this is Evie's to win. She's up.
She's making a statement, but she's making a
statement, but it's not a winning.
Yeah,
statement.
She's not jumping. She's definitely giving the girls some competition, and she stood out in her season for a reason.
Yeah,
and I think with this one, she's not. She's trying to stand out amongst the winners, and it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah,
because even this week, I can't really see. I have some favorites, but I don't think I have any clear front runners at this particular point, just based off of what they've done so far. So, and as we know, none of them are going to be sent home every single week. So we'll just kind of see how many stars they build up, and then the top four, I think she said, the top four is going to be the four that goes in the final. I think that's what she said.
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Well, all right, that was fun.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, get into this beautiful bean footage, and we'll be right back.
Well, all right. We want to thank our special guests, Blade and Justin DC Eagle, for coming through. We really do appreciate it. Congratulations to both of them for a successful run at International Mr. Leather.
Yes.
What's going on? Oh, it's Pride Month. So this feels like the one weekend where there's nothing happening, because next month is Capital Pride. The week after is Folsom. The week after is Baltimore.
It is exhausting.
As well as Pride in New York City. And I'm not going back to New York City, but
it is going to be a very long month because it's 30 days of Epic and it's Pride Month. Oh my God. One of my life we used to get so excited. And then we're like, it is exhausting.
It is. Being gay is exhausting and expensive.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we're still going to celebrate. We're going to be out there and out in the forefront, like all those people did before us. And it is our duty.
Exactly.
And
there's a lot going on in this country right now.
We need to show as much face as possible.
Yes.
And show that we are there. So listen, like my girl said in Tu Wong Fu, she said, listen, we'll march in stilettos from here to Lake Titicaca.
Right.
That's what we're going to do.
Hallelujah.
So, but as usual, we really, really, really appreciate you guys spending your evening with us. You could be doing so many other things, but again, very, very grateful. And thank you all for spending your time with us. That's it for me. That's all I got. I'm finally now getting ready to unwind. So I'm getting ready to cut this short.
I don't have nothing else to say. Thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Bye.